إنا أنزلنا إليك الكتاب بالحق لتحكم بين الناس بما أراك الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على حبيبنا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. In ayah number 68 of Surah Al-Ahzab, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَقَالُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّا أَطَعْنَا سَادَتَنَا وَكُبَرَاءَنَا فَأَضَلُّونَا السَّبِيلَ. And they will say, "O our Lord, we obeyed our leaders, we obeyed the elite from amongst us, and they led us astray. They led us from the right path. They misguided us, Ya Allah." These people will be in hellfire, and they followed those in authority from amongst them. They followed and allowed themselves to be influenced by people that led them astray from the correct path, led them astray from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So these people are blaming others, and at the same time they're testifying that Allah is the Rabb. After it's all said and done, instead of testifying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala being the Rabb, being their Lord and Master in this world, they're doing it in the afterlife. Allah is telling us when the curtains are drawn and they see the reality for everything that it is, now they want to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it's too late. And they're pointing the fingers and playing the blame game at other people. And this will be the state on of the people on the Day of Judgment. Everybody will be pointing fingers at everybody else, blaming their friends for getting them in trouble and their friends for influencing them. But everybody is going to be accountable for their own actions. Subhanallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to remain on the truth and grant us all husn al-khatima, a good ending. Allahumma ameen. So these people, they are calling out to Allah while they're in the hellfire, blaming others for their downfall. This really highlights the importance of us having good friends and keeping good company, because good friends and good company will get us closer to Allah, and bad friends and bad company and bad advice will drive us further and further away from the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The word I want to focus on here is the third word in Surah Al-Ahzab that ends with an alif, when it usually doesn't end with an alif when it is written. And this word is as-sabila. The alif at the end of this word here is highlighting and has a rhetorical benefit that the people of the hellfire are screaming and they're crying out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in regret. Their state will never be changed because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has entered them into the hellfire because of their disbelief in Him. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala adds this alif here at the end of the word as-sabila to highlight how much they are crying and screaming in the hellfire out of regret, out of remorse, and how they wish that they could come back to this world and have a second chance and worship Allah. But it's too late. They had that opportunity already and they missed the boat. They had that opportunity in this life when the messenger came to them, when they heard about Islam and they turned away from it. But now they want to believe. This is not how it works. Subhanallah. So this alif highlights how much remorse and how much regret these people will have in the hellfire, and how much they will be crying out for their situation to be changed, but that will be of no avail for them. Allahu Akbar. This is the third word. We covered al-dhununa, al-rasula, and as-sabila. All of these three words end with an alif in these ayats when they're usually not written like this in the Arabic language. But as we have learned in all three of the videos of the gems of Surah Al-Ahzab, they all have a very important rhetorical benefit. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.